Donnie, welcome to the Rave.com again. We're here with Robin from the Ocean today. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with us.
Thanks for having us.
This is right before the show. You guys are playing tonight here on the between the Buried and Me and Job for a Cowboy. So we appreciate taking the time with us. You guys are from Berlin, Germany. How many times have you been through the United States on a tour? Is this your first time, or?
No, that's our second time over here, actually. We've been here once in 2008 with Kailasa and Lair of the Minotaur. That was a full U.S. tour, but we haven't been back here in the last 3 years at all, so this is only our second time over.
Is this? I believe this is your first time playing the Rave that we were trying to see.
Yeah,
Yeah?
totally.
Okay.
First time ever playing Wisconsin.
Oh, right on. So, hey, you're a virgin of the Wisconsin.
Right.
All right. You guys mix classical music with progressive metal in your sound and stuff like that. Is anyone classically trained? Did you go to school for that, or how did you guys get into that kind of thing?
Not really. We're all self-taught, I think. I mean, we've all been growing up listening to all different kinds of music, and we've always, been really open-minded towards like influences that are not very typical in the world of metal, I guess. And we started playing with like cello players in 2001, so we've been doing that for quite a while. And I learned how to write for classical musicians just along the line over the years. It's something I figured out. I know now what the octave range of a cello or a violin is, but I haven't really gone to school or studied anything in particular.
Right on. That's going to go to my next question. You guys, earlier this year in January, you guys recorded at a museum in Berlin, right? I couldn't even say, what is the name of the museum that you guys...
Museum für Musikinstrumente.
Say that again? I was like, I'm not going to answer.
It's the Museum for Musical Instruments, basically.
Okay.
That was a really weird show. That was the first time they ever had a rock show in that place. It's apparently like a place where they show lots of like classical instruments from the 16th, 17th century, and we played amidst a collection of like 17th century cembalos, and we actually had a piano player that played on one of these instruments for that special occasion, and we had a cello player with us too. It was really cool. It wasn't the typical like rock club show we play. People were seated, and it was more like classical applause, like clapping in between songs, not the typical kind of shouting and people.
Yeah, did that feel? Was the energy still there though, or
it was there? Oh yeah, like we went off and we had a great time. The crowd was really good too. There was also like this big upstairs balcony with people standing up there looking down. So it was a really cool setting. It's this weird building that is like very strangely shaped, and the acoustic was kind of difficult to tackle with, but I think we managed to get a really good sound, and we recorded that for our DVD, which is going to be out sometime next year. So, it was a different show, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask if you guys recorded. Is there plans to release some of the songs on a CD as well from that show, or is that just going to be on the DVD?
We don't really know yet what we're going to do with it exactly. We're right now just in the process of collecting material for our upcoming DVD. We have our documentary filmer with us on this tour, and we recorded the record release show for Heliocentric last year as well, so that show is going to be on there. And then probably a couple of shows from this tour with just like a more stripped down like camera setup, just like 3 or 4 cameras or something like that, and lots of different stuff. I've done song comments for all the songs on Heliocentric, where I'm commenting the lyrics and concepts behind the song, so that's going to be on the DVD too, and just a bunch of stuff.
Okay, that was my next question then. Anthropocentric
Sorry.
and heliocentric. No, it's good. It leads right in. You're leading in really well. The albums, they kind of have a philosophical and fundamental critique of Christianity and stuff like that. Was that something that you guys thought about going into it, or was it just something that came out in the music? What is your views on religion and stuff like that?
Well, I've been wanting to do an album about the legacy of Christianity for a while. It's something that just didn't come up out of the blue. It's something I've been exposed to for a long time. I first came across it when I was 16, living in the U.S. at that time with a diehard Baptist Christian creationist host family, and I had these discussions with my host sister about the dinosaurs never having existed and the Earth being 5,000 years old and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that struck me at the time because she wasn't stupid, but obviously possessed by ideas that were not her own. And since then, I've just been thinking a lot about it. I studied philosophy and read a lot of religious philosophers. So it's something that was already there. And then when we wrote these 2 albums, we wrote so much material that we knew from the beginning it was going to be like a double album. And I just thought this was the right moment to try to get to that concept, because obviously it's so much material and so many things that can and need to be said about that subject matter that you can't really squeeze it into the constraints of just one album.
Oh yeah, that's something definitely you could just talk a lot about.
Yeah.
I love all that kind of stuff
We've only
too.
scratched the surface, but I think we've still offered a fairly interesting perspective there with these 2 albums.
Right on. So this is your first time playing the Rave. Have you heard, like, obviously there's stories of ghost stories here, and you know, people have seen the pool. Have you guys got a chance to see the pool yet or no?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, okay, you did.
Yeah, we were gonna take some pictures there later, actually.
Yeah, there's definitely something about the Rave and stuff like that. So I was just curious what you guys had heard before or anything like that. If there was any stories or.
Well, I heard only that the Beatles played here back in the days. I don't even know if that's true. There's lots of myths and legends about this place, but apparently, like, lots of legendary bands have
Oh
played
yeah,
here.
I know that.
Is that true or not?
I don't know if I don't think the Beatles have. What's his name? That died in the plane crash with the Big Bopper and that. What's his name? Buddy Holly.
Holly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Buddy Holly had played here, so right before,
Right.
like a week or two before that he passed. But there's been a lot of obviously legendary people, but I don't think the Beatles have played here.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you just walk through the hallway, you see all the posters, and the Pixies were here just last weekend, and I believe like next Friday is Deftones and Dillinger or something.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a really, really cool venue, and just walking through the place, it's amazing. Like, I mean, there's so many rooms, and it's definitely a classy place, not like most of the places we played on this tour that are just like suburban, like shitty
Yeah.
kind of you know, venues. There's a
This place
with,
is designed
with
for music.
history.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And yeah, I heard some funky rumors about ghosts too, and someone told me today, and now I already know that it's not true. I didn't really believe it in the first place, but somebody told me that this would have been the secret base of the Nazis had Hitler ever taken over America, which
Really?
apparently didn't happen.
Well, this was, I know in the 20s with Prohibition and stuff like that, and they had like a lot of caves that run underneath here, like the Prohibition era
yeah, there
time.
was some story about a tunnel
Yeah.
connecting it to a hotel or something
Yeah,
like that.
the Ambassador, but I'm not sure what's true and what's not. But there's, I mean, it's a crazy building. It's so
Yeah.
huge and stuff. But
Yeah, it's awesome to play in a place like that. I mean, we're playing rather atmospheric music, and the ambience of the whole place is an integral part in, you know, getting our point across. And if you're just playing a fucking shopping mall, it's not the same.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is really cool to play in these old historic buildings here, and
I know.
definitely makes a big difference for us.
Well, we appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the fans out there before we cut it, or?
Well, check out the show. You can tune in live if you can make it, and hope to see you somewhere along the road, I guess.
There you go, Robin from the Ocean. First time here. I'm sure it won't be your last. So thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Yeah.